Have you ever found yourself staring at the back of a cereal box, desperately trying to decipher the ingredients list? Or maybe you've become a label detective, scouring grocery store aisles to avoid hidden sources of dairy or testing kitchen scales to ensure your baking powder hasn't been adulterated with animal fats. If these scenarios sound familiar, it's not just you. Today, an increasing number of us are taking our diets and our kitchens in this direction. Welcome to my channel. It's me, and this is food, philosophy, and everything in between. This series delves into the thought-provoking questions surrounding what we eat, why we eat it, and how our food choices impact the world. From unearthing the hidden ethics of everyday eats to decoding the science of sensational food trends and busting common nutrition myths, each episode is a deep dive into the fascinating intersection of food and life. So sit back, grab a mindful bite, and join me in exploring the delicious dilemmas that define our relationship with food. Today, we're tackling a topic that seems to be everywhere and nowhere all at once: veganism. You've probably noticed it too. More vegan options on menus, influencers showing off plant-based meals, and grocery stores stocking up on oat milk like it's gold. But is this really just a passing fad or something more permanent? And if you've wondered why exactly everyone's talking about going vegan, you're not alone. To unpack this, let's start with the basics. Veganism is more than just a diet. It's a way of life centered on the principle of not exploiting animals for human use. At its core, this means abstaining from any form of animal exploitation, including in food, clothing, entertainment, and research. But it's not just a modern Western concept. Vegan principles can be traced back to ancient Eastern philosophies like Jainism, Buddhism, and Hinduism, which have long promoted vegetarianism and nonviolence towards living beings. What's new is the global popularity of veganism in recent times. But what's fueling this surge? A few factors seem to be driving the rise of veganism worldwide. First among these is a growing concern for animal welfare. As factory farming practices become more exposed and scrutinized, particularly through documentaries like Earthlings and Cowspiracy, more people are becoming aware of the conditions and treatment of animals in these systems. Many are responding by making dietary changes. Next, there's the health aspect. Numerous studies link plant-based diets to a lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. People are recognizing the potential health benefits of a vegan lifestyle and incorporating it to manage or prevent health issues. Sustainability is another big driver. Veganism's environmental benefits are well documented. Animal agriculture contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions and resource usage. Many are adopting veganism as a way to reduce their environmental impact and promote sustainability. Finally, the accessibility of information and inspiration plays a huge role. Social media and platforms like Instagram and YouTube have democratized the spread of knowledge and inspiration for veganism. Influencers, celebrities, and organizations promote vegan recipes, lifestyles, and philosophies, making it more appealing and approachable. If you've been considering giving veganism a try, you might be wondering where to start. The transition doesn't have to be drastic. Small changes like reducing meat consumption, exploring plant-based protein sources, and minimizing your environmental footprint can make a difference. Online resources, communities, and even local groups can offer guidance and support throughout your journey. But how widespread is veganism really? Surveys indicate that globally, about 5% of the population identifies as vegan. But it's important to note that the numbers are on the rise. Younger generations, particularly millennials and Gen Z, are more likely to adopt vegan or vegetarian lifestyles compared to older generations. Countries like Israel, Germany, and the UK have higher rates of veganism, with Israel leading the way with around 10% of the population identifying as vegan. While the overall percentage of vegans globally might seem small, it's growing. More people are reducing their meat consumption and animal product intake for ethical, health, or environmental reasons. Some may not identify as strictly vegan, but follow a mostly plant-based diet, incorporating meat or other animal products occasionally. This shift is reflected in food trends like plant-based meat alternatives, dairy-free milk options, and the increasing availability of vegan and vegetarian choices in restaurants and supermarkets. If you're interested in learning more about the specifics of veganism, there are numerous resources available. Organizations like PETA, Vegan Society, and Mercy for Animals provide information on vegan ethics, lifestyle, and advocacy. Additionally, there are countless books, articles, and online guides offering practical advice on transitioning to a vegan lifestyle, including meal plans, recipes, and tips for maintaining a balanced diet. It's important to recognize that veganism is not just a fleeting trend, but a growing movement driven by ethical, health, and environmental concerns. As more people embrace veganism, it's influencing food culture, inspiring innovation in plant-based products, and promoting a broader conversation about our relationship with animals and the environment. Now let's turn to the impact of veganism on the food industry. The rise of veganism is not going unnoticed by food businesses. In response to changing consumer preferences and demand, major food manufacturers are expanding their range of plant-based products. From vegan cheeses and sausages to meat-free burgers and dairy-free milk alternatives, the options are becoming more diverse and accessible. This trend is driven by both the growth of the vegan market and evolving consumer attitudes towards plant-based eating. Companies are innovating to cater to this demand, often collaborating with vegan food startups or investing in plant-based production to meet the increasing needs of the market. These developments signal a significant shift in the food industry, one that recognizes the importance of providing options for those seeking to reduce or eliminate animal product consumption. But how does veganism impact the economy? Assessing the economic impact of veganism is complex and multifaceted. On one hand, the growth of the vegan market creates economic opportunities. As more people adopt vegan lifestyles, it stimulates the production and sale of plant-based products, potentially creating jobs and boosting local economies. Moreover, the shift towards plant-based eating can reduce healthcare costs associated with diet-related diseases, which could translate into broader economic savings. On the other hand, the decline of animal agriculture could impact communities heavily reliant on that industry. It could lead to job losses in sectors like meat processing and dairy farming. However, it's essential to consider the broader economic context. Animal agriculture is a large-scale industry with significant resource requirements. Shifting to plant-based food production could potentially free up resources and land for other economic activities. Economically speaking, the rise of veganism presents both challenges and opportunities. While it may disrupt traditional industries, it also stimulates innovation and growth in the plant-based sector. Policymakers and communities will need to consider the economic implications and work towards mitigating potential negative impacts while harnessing the growth potential of the vegan market. So what does the future hold for veganism? Predictions for the future of veganism are generally positive. As more people become aware of the ethical, health, and environmental aspects of veganism, its popularity is expected to grow. Technological advancements like plant-based meat and dairy alternatives are becoming increasingly realistic and accessible, making the transition to a vegan lifestyle more seamless. Furthermore, as younger generations who are more open to plant-based eating enter adulthood and shape food trends, the momentum behind veganism is likely to continue. However, challenges remain: overcoming misconceptions and misinformation, ensuring access to information, and addressing potential economic impacts of a shift towards veganism will be crucial for its continued growth. Ultimately, the future of veganism depends on our collective action and commitment to creating a more sustainable and compassionate food system. So is veganism the future of how we eat? It's hard to say definitively, but the signs point towards a significant shift in our food culture. As more people prioritize ethical, healthy, and sustainable choices, veganism is likely to play an increasingly prominent role in shaping our diets. Whether it becomes the norm or a significant part of our food landscape, the future undoubtedly holds a greater emphasis on plant-based eating. If you're enjoying this series, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more thought-provoking episodes. Your engagement helps us continue exploring these fascinating topics. So if you found this episode thought-provoking and want more of this kind of content, hit that thumbs up button and stay tuned for more thought-provoking content. We've got more food, philosophy, and everything in between episodes waiting in the wings, each ready to take you on another delicious ride through the world of food. And remember, your feedback shapes our content. So drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's episode and any food-related questions you'd like us to tackle in the future. Who knows? Your comment might spark our next thought-provoking episode. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, keep questioning what's on your plate and remember, stay intrigued.